All right. Are you looking for more spiritual guidance in your life? Do you often find yourself looking outside yourself for this guidance? Feel dissatisfied? Are you open to learning how to be your own spiritual guide? If so, then today's show is for you. Our guest will be talking about how to tap into your own spiritual guidance, your own GPS. He will share his life journey about how he came to do the work he's doing today, and he'll be sharing actionable tips for being your own spiritual guide. So, as you know, as I like to say, get your pen and pad ready. You're going to want to take some notes. Buckle up. We're getting ready to take a ride in the quantum field and possibly way beyond. Buckle up. I wouldn't want you to go flying off to another dimension. It's so early in 2020 and you want to be here, right? Or, just maybe, that's exactly what you need. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. I'm so honored and grateful to have with us today's guest, Brian Kurtz. Brian, how are you today?
Hey, Mark, I'm great. Thank you very much for having me back in. I love doing this, and there's so much going on I want to share that the timing is really quite perfect, as usual, right?
Excellent. Yeah, everything in divine timing. Excellent.
Yeah.
As some of you may have known, Brian was one of my first guests on the People and Pets Show in May of 2019, one of the early episodes. And so he's a returning guest. He was very popular. And as I like to say, I met Brian through a mutual friend in Chicago. I was at a networking event talking to Noah and told him I was originally from Texas. And he goes, "Oh, you know Brian?" I go, "No, I don't. Tell me more." So he told me about Brian's work, and through Noah, he connected us. So you never know where your connections are going to take you. And we just went from there and invited him on to the guest on the show, and he's back here in 2020. So great to have you.
You bet. Yeah, Noah's like the master networker. That's his thing.
Oh yeah.
We should pitch him a little bit too. Noah Young Simon.
Okay.
Go check out Noah. He's like the networker. He's helping to network people all over the country, in Dallas and Austin and San Antonio and Chicago and all over the place.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah. Great. Okay. Noah, shout out to you. Thank you, Noah, from both of us. And and again, I'd like to thank you all for being, if you're live on the call. We had a few tech issues, so we're doing this a Zoom call kind of the last second. So if you're seeing this live, be sure to write in your questions you have for Brian about being your own spiritual guide, connected to that, some key tips. And if you're seeing this on replay, either on the People and Pets Facebook page or through YouTube, on the People and Pets channel. If you're seeing it on Facebook, make sure to give it a like, love, thumbs up, all that, and like the People and Pets page on Facebook. Or if you're seeing it on replay on YouTube, make sure you give it a thumbs up for this episode, and please subscribe to the People and Pets channel. There are so many things you could be doing with your time right now if you happen to be seeing it live or on replay. And both Brian and I are so grateful that you've chosen to spend some of that time with us, because there are a lot going on in the world right now. Please, if you're seeing it again live or on replay, let us know where you're viewing from in the world. And as I said, go ahead and type in any questions you have about the topic today about being your own spiritual guide. So with that introduction, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Mark Hernandez, owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics. I'm a holistic practitioner that helps people, animals, and spaces when they've hit the wall with health and well-being issues. Basically, I have intuitive gifts and extensive training to read the subtle energy fields and then identify and release non-beneficial energies that are locking in place health and well-being issues. For people, what commonly gets people in the door? They're in some level of pain, physical, mental, emotional. They've often already gone to the Western medical doctors, allopathic medicine. Maybe it's provided a partial solution or no solution, and they're still in pain. And this pain is disrupting the quality of their everyday life. It's not something you can just kind of, hey, we've all been there. I have, You know, maybe you can put a cream on your hand. It feels better for a while. And sometimes that's the best we can do. And that's where we go. But ultimately, we all want that ultimate resolution, if possible, that issue. And sometimes it's quick and sometimes it takes more time. So those are the people that frequently see me. For your pets, two main reasons pet parents bring me their pets. One, change in behavior. Peeing and pooing in the household, separation anxiety. You introduce a new pet into the household, the dynamics go wonky, and much more. Category two would be the pet parents have taken the pet to the vet, which is always the first stop. Make sure it's in excellent veterinary care. The vet does find something veterinarily going on, like a blockage or a growth, whatever it is. I can provide a layer of energetic support. This type of work I do for both people and animals is always something you do in addition to the excellent care you're getting from, you know, your medical providers, if it's people, or your veterinarian, if you're an animal. The final thing is I do space clearings. You know, we've all been in spaces where we walk in and we go, oh, I just got to get out here. You just know the space is off. You know, you don't even have to be, quote unquote, so energetically sensitive, but you just know. You know, some of the places with the wonkiest energies are schools, as Raymond Grace says, hospitals, jails, courthouses, or just sometimes your everyday home. You have electronics and your stove. 10 things break down in like 3 weeks. It's kind of weird. You just kind of know something's going on. I can identify and release the non-beneficial energies locked in place those issues. With the other thing I'd like to add is all my work is non-invasive, safe, gentle, and yields results. At times immediately, and in other instances over time. I do 95% of my consultations remotely by phone or video technology. And the last thing I'd like to add is that I do multidimensional clearings. By that I mean I check different timelines. This lifetime, past lifetime, parallel, future, in between, sometimes considered off planet, whatever it is. What we're seeing with the ascension is people are expanding out. People are starting to feel those energies more from other timelines. And sometimes your current issue has origins in other timelines. So that's who I am and what I do in a nutshell. So with that long preamble, let's introduce our guest, our returning guest, Brian Kurtz. Brian Kurtz is a teacher and light worker who calls in spirit's power and love to heal physical, psychological, and emotional issues. His divinely inspired method includes chakra and life history energetic residue clearing, client-specific healing, and a divinely channeled counseling session. Brian also works with children and pets and clears homes and workspaces as required. His Soul Connection workshop series teaches everyone to connect in with the Namaste place whenever they choose, enhancing relationships in one's life. Brian, welcome to the People and Pet Show.
Thank you very much. I love being here. I love being with you. I apologize for some technical glitches that I think may have occurred on my end this morning. It is what it is, right?
Exactly. Everything happens for a reason. We're on
which is exactly what we're going to be talking about today. It's like, perfect. Why did that happen? We all have moments of, why did that happen? What is that about? Why does this have to happen to me? And if we can get to that place where we're centered in our own being. I mean, you had talked a moment ago in your introduction about clearing away the stuff that doesn't belong. If we can just clear that away, what's left is who we are. Mm-hmm. What's left is our divine essence. What we are is a soul occupying physical space.
Yeah.
And the extent to which we can really get that, be in the actual awareness of that, not just understanding it like here as a mental concept, to be able to get that that's what we are, gets us on our way. Mm-hmm. And this has been a lot of the focus of my work. I teach a class on how to do my healing modality, but it's not about doing the steps in the modality. It's about who you're being that allows the healing to take place. What healing is, and of course you know this because you do the work, what healing is an intentional shift in my being, in my spirit, that alters the spiritual nature of the person in front of me, or remotely. I mean, 95% of my work is remote as well, because when you're talking about soul level, you're not limited by the illusions of time and space. You're able to connect at spirit, which is part of a oneness that everyone has access to.
Yeah.
Can I get a little scientific with your
Please
audience?
do. Absolutely.
Okay.
They love it.
So part of what I teach is how to access this place, but the way to access the stuff past the brain is to get the brain to calm down. And the way you get your brain to calm down is to give it some, just, it's like if you want your 2-year-old to relax, you give them a toy, right? Yeah. I, in effect, give the brain enough of what it takes for it to settle down so that this neural network can take over for this neural network.
Yeah.
The Institute of Heart Math, I don't know if you know about heart math, M-A-T-H. So they've done about 25 years of research showing that this neural network, the heart-gut neural network, is literally 5,000 times more energetically, electromagnetically powerful than this neural network.
Wow.
And there's actually more information going up to this from here than from this down.
Yeah.
And they show in their research, I've done some heart math work recently. I've done some of their coursework just as a supplement to what I'm already up to. They've shown that if you can learn this thing they call coherence, it will literally settle you down, enabling you to get to that place, that still place. So I'm going to give you a few little things that I discuss, and then we'll get into how to be your own spiritual guide. There's got to be a little bit of a foundation.
Absolutely.
So this is part of the foundation.
Absolutely.
So imagine an atom. Everyone's seen an atom. You know, everyone's seen the little picture where you've got your protons and neutrons in the middle and the electrons orbiting around the middle. What most folks don't know is that that is not drawn to scale. If you were to draw that to scale, if you were to magnify this picture of an atom that we all know and have your protons and neutrons in the middle be the size of a marble, the first orbiting electron would be 50,000 feet away from the marble, almost 10 miles from the marble. And these electrons are in distance groupings called shells. The second shell, the second distance group of electrons would be at the moon, 250,000 miles. That's 27 Earth diameters away from the marble. Marble, moon.
Wow.
Marble 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know about you. I can't really even get my brain around that. But the point is, an atom is made of very little actual particulate stuff and mostly empty space.
Yep.
Now, consider that what physics and science has shown us is that those particles are held in place by electromagnetic energy.
Yeah.
What is the source energy for everything? God, spirit, creator, whatever you want to call that created the universe, is in all of the empty space, holding all of that stuff in place.
Yeah.
If that is so, guess what we are? We are mostly empty space occupied by mostly God stuff.
Yep.
So when someone says you are a soul occupying physical form, that is literally scientifically what is so.
Yeah.
So how do we access that? So the way I had this thing I just call the conversation. I've had it with about 1,800 people now. And in the conversation, I ask people a really simple question, which is, I give them a statement, which is, notice the thoughts your brain is generating, and then speak back to me, I am noticing the thoughts my brain is generating.
Yeah.
So just say that. I am noticing the thoughts my brain is generating.
Okay. I'm noticing the thoughts that my brain is generating.
Perfect. So Mark, who is the I that you just mentioned that is noticing the thoughts that your brain is generating?
I want to say like my soul.
Right. That's the answer. But no one even bothers to think about that because we're not wired up that way. We have this brain that's pumping out thought all day. Okay. And while your brain is pumping out thought, the very thought, that you can notice the thought that your brain is generating, puts you in this place just outside of your brain chatter where you can be the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating.
Right. Right.
So where is that place? Okay. Well, let's consider for a moment, going back to the atom that we just mentioned, that God is, if God is that source energy, and I think it is, God is the energy holding all of that in place, and we are made of mostly God stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And given that the entire universe is made of that, where is God, spirit, creator, whatever you want to call that thing? Where is it?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Is there anywhere it's not?
Yeah.
Right? It's everywhere. So given that it is everywhere, where does it have to go? Nowhere.
It doesn't have to go anywhere.
It's right. It's already everywhere. It has nowhere to go. Therefore, God, spirit, creator, operates in stillness. Now, how do we access stillness? If we're being the noticer of our brain chatter, where do you think we are? We're in a place of stillness, watching what is not stillness. And the way we access stillness is by noticing what's not. And the doorway that we all want to get to in that place, the door is always open. There's no lock, no key, and there's actually no door. It's just, and we access stillness by noticing what's not stillness. It's really counterintuitive, but that's the place from which we access that. And if God is in the stillness, when we access stillness by noticing what's not, we're accessing God, spirit, creator, higher self, soul, whatever you want, oversoul, whatever you want to call that. That is what we already always are.
Yeah.
So if you have access to that, that is the place from which guidance becomes available.
Yep.
Now, this is where music comes from. This is where poetry comes from. This is where love, real love, comes from. If I say, Mark, who do you love? What's your answer?
Well, it's always
We've all got somebody.
With self-love.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, so your brain could generate this big, long list of reasons that make you lovable.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you just know that you know that you know beyond reasons.
Yes.
Beyond reasons generated by this, you just know here that you love yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of what Jesus said about, love everyone, no exceptions, love and forgive 70 times 7, forever and ever. I don't get into the dogma.
Yeah.
I grew up Reformed Jewish in Cajun country, South Louisiana, where everybody was Catholic.
Yeah.
So the essence of Reformed Judaism is you kind of pick and choose which of the doctrines, if you will, you want to follow.
Sure.
And make and honor that as your way. Okay. I became a Christian, but in a very zero dogma kind of way. So I don't do dogma. I'm kind of anti-dogma, if you will. I stand for more open. So what I'm getting at is I'm trying to touch on this thing I'll call being.
Yeah.
If you're stuck in dogma, you're here. If you're stuck in reasons why, you're here. So it's about noticing that you can notice what you're noticing.
Yeah.
Because when you're being the noticer of that, you're in stillness. This is where guidance comes from. If your guidance needs reasons, if there's a because, I need to do this because, then you're here. If you just know that you know that you know that you need to do something, you follow that. We all need this. I mean, sure, we've all got the navigators on our phones.
Sure.
But we need to know with this how to program in the navigator on our phone. But the point is, when you come to a fork in the road, you need this to know, do I turn left or right?
Right.
When you come to a fork in the road of your life,
Mhm.
Don't check in here. Check in here, because this knows that it knows what it knows.
Yeah.
That's the place from which to operate.
Yeah.
And the clues are, or do you have reasons why I need to do this? Well, that means you're here. This thing is a supercomputer. It's a hard drive.
Yeah.
Its whole reason for being is to sort and analyze and store and categorize every thought and every thought about the thought and every judgment and evaluation about the thought, about the thought, about the thought, so that it can store it for later.
Yeah.
That's what this does. This needs no comparison, contrast, analysis. It just knows.
Yeah. I want
So
to get to a point you bring, because I completely agree. The heart, you said, was, so much more powerful, the heart space, than the, brain, physical, the mind chatter. What about it, like when people, because I run into a lot of people that have what Dr. Nelson called the heart wall, or blocked heart. So, they're getting information, but it's a little bit distorted. They're, as I say, with the heart wall, they're in life, but not completely there. They're kind of getting distorted messages because there's blockages in the heart area, heart chakra, whatever, on different levels.
yes,
So is that something like, if you're working with people, that's probably one of the first things you check, if their heart?
absolutely, absolutely. This conversation I'm talking about right now
Yeah.
is a conversation I open every single healing session with every single client.
Yeah.
That's what I open with. It's also what I open all of my soul connection workshops with, because it puts you in a place of being more open and aware.
Yeah.
Not just here, but like aware.
Right.
And if you can be in that place, then we can get to being more receptive to releasing everything that needs to be released. As we go through life, who we're being about whatever occurs in our life affects the type of energetic residue we accumulate.
Yeah.
And, gazillions of years ago, when folks learned about the chakras, chakra is an
Yeah.
old Sanskrit word meaning wheel or disc. There's these 7 wheels of energy spinning in our bodies that happen to correspond to various aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
It's also cool that the same thing that showed that to those people showed in ancient Judeo-Christian culture what is now known as the Kabbalah, which has to do with the same 7 energy centers in the same portions of the body corresponding to the same life aspects.
Yeah.
What we are is divine spirit beings occupying 3D.
Yeah.
We live here in 3D, and
Yeah.
who our beingness is being about what occurs results in energetic residue that we then must clear away. And in the clearing, what remains is who you are. So this heart wall that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
that wall is built not about what happened,
Yeah.
but about who we're being about what happened.
Yep.
Whatever happened, happened.
Right.
Whatever happens in our lives happens. But here's the thing. If you're a soul made of God stuff,
Yeah.
and God is love, forgiveness, freedom, abundance, then that is what we are. So if we're not experiencing that freedom, that love, that abundance in our lives, there must be something blocking that from being apparent in our lives. And everybody's trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I get it? Where do I have to go? And what do I have to do? That's all brain chatter.
Yeah.
When one is being free, freedom occurs. When one is being open, you're able to receive. To be willing, to be loving, results, who you're being results in the doingness that we seek.
Yeah.
But people are so busy with this trying to figure out, like, what does the figuring, right?
Yeah.
We're so busy trying to figure out what to do, where to go, how to, the who, what, the who, where, when, why is here.
Yeah.
The what is all we need to ask for. And then we can literally be that which we seek and watch it occur, because we are the out projectors of our life.
Yeah.
There's this wonderful guy named Robert Brummett. I go to a Unity congregation.
Yeah.
Unity is not really a Christian denomination per
Right.
se. It's a group of people gathering spiritually, right?
Absolutely.
And the guy that they call like the Yoda of Unity is a guy named Robert Brummett. He's
Okay.
written this wonderful book called Birthing a Greater Reality.
Oh.
You might want to have your guys write this book down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Birthing a Greater Reality, and it's Robert, Brummet. So
Okay.
he spoke to our congregation a year or so ago, and he talked about this flashlight analogy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's like if you have a room and it's completely dark and
Yeah.
you can't see anything in the room, it's so dark you can't even see your hand in front of your face. All you have is this flashlight, and you turn the flashlight on, and suddenly you can point it around and see everything in the room. You can point it at yourself and see yourself. What's the only thing in the room you can't see with the flashlight? The flashlight. You can't see the flashlight. All you can see is the light coming from it.
Yeah.
We are the flashlight, but we don't know we're the flashlight because we can't see ourselves out projecting our reality. All we can see is the reality we're out projecting.
Yeah.
So in Greg Braden's book, The Divine Matrix, another wonderful book you may want to check out, that's Greg with G-R-E-G-G, Braden, B-R-A-D-E-N. In his book, The Divine Matrix, he describes the matrix as not only this container in which the entire universe exists, it's also a mirror of our world. So if we can become aware of the concept of our life as a mirror, which lines up with Brummett's, out projection, and we're the flashlight, the way your life becomes your guide is by being the noticer of what's occurring around you.
Yeah.
And our first thing when we notice what's going on around us is to ask, why is this happening? It's not about why is this happening? It's about noticing who you're being about what's happening. And in that comes the learning. It's not even about like every shamanic practice that, I mean, I'm not a shaman, but I know many. They talk about this journeying and noticing what's occurring around you. Like notice there's a hawk that just flew over. Is it a red hawk or a golden hawk? Or there's a vulture on the pole, or there's a fly that just went by. If all of it, every down to the little micro detail of it is there to teach you something, what is it that it's there to teach you? What I assert is that who I'm being about, whatever occurs in my life, is a tool.
Yeah.
Every issue that occurs in your life, everything that is an issue for you has a point A and a point B.
Yeah.
The point A is what is so. Point B is what I would prefer instead of what's so.
Yeah.
What so is I got $100 in the bank.
Yep.
What I'd prefer is that I have $1 million in the bank.
Yes.
What so is I wanted us to start at 9 o'clock today.
Yes.
Or that was my preference, is that we start at 9 o'clock today. What is so is we ended up starting about 5 or 10 minutes late because of technical glitches. Okay.
Yeah.
Now notice that there's a preference.
Yeah.
Now notice what, like the point A is this is what happened. Point B is what I'd prefer instead of point A. Why is the point B the preference? Why is that a preference? What's the preference about? Well, I'd prefer to start on time.
Yeah.
I want us to maximize our time together. Why is that? Because I care. Why do I care? Because I have a difference I want to make in the world. What's the difference I want to make in the world? I want to get my message out to people. What's the message I want to get out to people? That they can notice and learn from what they're noticing and learn from who they're being about what they're noticing. If something is upsetting, why is that upsetting? Well, what part of me is upset by that? And what is the trigger? What is that out there in the world that's triggering something in me? And what is the trigger and why is the trigger?
Yeah.
This is what kind of tips the rudder of our lives until we narrow down into the who are we being and who am I? And is my life reflecting that which I wish to have occur in my life.
Yeah. Right now, obviously, we're obviously just on Sunday with the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and the seven
Oh
other
yeah,
people. So that
horrible.
it was interesting on some of my Facebook acquaintances, people I know that I used to play a lot of basketball, not as much anymore, but recreational. But when I've seen a lot of my Facebook friends post like, this was the worst day of my life. I went, very interesting. Again, the passing tragic death of Kobe Bryant and the seven others. Could you maybe connect it a little bit with what we're seeing going on right now, at least in the U.S. and the world? How there's been this real outpouring that people, they never knew them, are really being impacted.
Yeah, I mean, who he was not just this basketball player. I mean, there were parts of Kobe Bryant I could criticize. I thought he was too selfish on the basketball court.
Yeah.
I thought he had done some horrible things regarding sexual activity and all of that. But no one worked harder. No one cared more. No one wanted to win more. And he was a very diverse person. He contributed millions of dollars to all these different charities. He helped schools. He helped all sorts of different organizations. There's a video of him playing Moonlight Sonata with an ensemble. I mean, the guy had so much more to give.
Yeah.
And stopped at 41. Why would this happen?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to go into any like punishment or reward kind of mentality. I just want to notice, why is this occurring? The biggest question is, who are you being about it?
Yeah.
If what comes up for you is sadness, why is that sad? I'm not saying it shouldn't be.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying validate your own experience, notice what's occurring for you, who you're being about it, and what is that about?
Right.
Everything you can notice about Kobe, I mean, tragic loss of his daughter, this other guy who was a coach, his daughter. I mean, there were a bunch of people in the copter who were all just going to go have fun in a basketball game.
Sure.
And suddenly their lives are gone. All of the possibilities that could have been are gone. Now, given that we live in a universe, and your audience, I'm sure, is up on things like quantum reality and infinite possibilities, why did that possibility occur in the life that we are co-creating at this moment?
Yeah.
I don't have all of the answers. My job is not to give anyone else their answers. My job is to show them the way to come up with their own answers, to be your own spiritual guide, right? So once again, the key is not, why is this happening? The key is, what's happening in me that I can notice about what is occurring?
Yeah.
What are the feelings that comes up? As a father of two sons, it pains me horribly to see a father and daughter leaving the mother and other kids alone now, without them, without the benefit of their father and the love of the fellow sibling. I mean, I get to be in touch with my own being, my own sadness. What has that occur? My own love.
Yeah.
If it's all about being divine and being in the awareness of all that is around me as an experience I'm creating, why would I create that?
Yeah.
Maybe just to be in touch with a deeper part of myself in the middle of all of this fecal matter occurring right now in the world.
Right. Oh yeah.
An experience like Kobe Bryant's passing.
Yeah.
In Unity, we call it transitioning, when your the energy of your spirit transitions into the next realm, which is all around us already anyway.
Yeah.
For that experience to occur in the middle of anger, frustration, division, hatred, racism, nationalism, all of these. I mean, think about it. Racism, nationalism, it's political stuff. It's all about division, right?
Yeah.
What creates the division?
Yeah.
Okay. In Adam and Eve, everyone knows the Adam and Eve story. If you grew up in Judeo-Christian culture,
Yeah.
The original sin was to have been, you know, the manipulators of religion say
Right.
eating the apple
Right.
was the original sin, showing we must be inherently flawed or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
What happened was that fruit of the tree contained the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
Okay? God, it wasn't God thought we were bad. God didn't want us to have the knowledge of good and evil.
Yeah.
But the lesson in Adam and Eve is not that we're bad or inherently sinful.
Right.
The lesson was, don't let this run the show. This is all about good, evil, right, wrong, up, down, you, me. Just be here in the garden.
Yeah.
Just be here in the garden. The ground is so perfect that, you know, you don't even need a bed to lie down on. The weather's so perfect they didn't even need to wear clothes. Once they had good and evil happening in their brain, they looked at themselves and said, oh no, we have no clothes. Is that good or evil? Must be evil. We better cover ourselves.
Yeah.
And in the separation of everything from everything else, which is what the brain does,
Yeah.
we separate ourselves from each other. We separate ourselves from our own inner being because we're stuck here instead of being here.
Yeah. Absolutely.
To be your own spiritual guide is not to stop your brain, because your brain is a vital organ that's going to pump out thought all day. Your heart pumps blood, your lungs pump air, your stomach pumps stomach acid, your brain pumps out thought. It's not about stopping your brain. It's about setting your brain chatter aside by being the noticer of it, which puts you in the place separate from it so you can be in the awareness where the guidance comes in.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
that's the game.
Yeah. So obviously you've already shared some of the tips that people are just, you know, like I said, some people are brand new to this type of topic. Others are pretty far advanced. So let's go ahead and start with a beginner. You know, someone's just getting introduced to all this stuff, these topics. What are some actionable tips people want to get on that path of?
The most important tip I can give anyone who's just getting started in this, and anyone can do this, is to be the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating.
Okay.
And stop and notice, what is my brain doing right now? It's kind of like you're standing at the corner of a major intersection, a major highway.
Yeah.
Here in Austin, it would be like Interstate 35 and Highway 290, and there's 5,000 cars a minute going by. If we can notice our thoughts the way we notice the cars on the expressway, there's a red Ford and a yellow Chevy and a green Pontiac and a silver Mercedes, not, ooh, a silver Mercedes, just there's a silver Mercedes, no judgment, not that's a good car, a bad car, a slow car, a fast car, just notice it and let it go. If we can learn to notice our thoughts that way and let them go, we're standing in stillness on the corner watching the cars go by. In being the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating, you are putting yourself in the stillness place where everything else occurs.
Yeah.
If you can take that first step to notice the thoughts your brain is generating, that will get you down the road faster than anything else you can imagine. If you can notice, I have a feeling about whatever it is, this is another huge tip, to be able to stop and notice and catch yourself in whatever is troubling you.
Yeah.
Notice that you're being troubled.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if I can notice that my brain is generating that thought and my body is reacting with the brain thought, the brain chemical that begins to trigger stuff in the body, if I can notice, if I can catch myself in any given moment, this is the thought my brain is generating. This is what my body is doing in response to that. If I catch myself in freak out mode, I can stop and breathe. This is another huge tip.
Oh,
breathe. I tell people breathe into 5 and out to 8. The number 8 is an even number, kind of stops a cycle, okay, and keeps that going, okay? Yeah. So if you can breathe 4 times, into 5, out to 8, the longer exhale triggers your vagus nerve, which connects virtually every major organ in your body and tells your whole body, it's okay. You can relax now. And if you can catch yourself, what is it that you're catching? And what is doing the catching?
Yeah.
If you can notice, instead of saying, I am upset, I am angry, the I amness is a statement of my being. If I can say, I am noticing that my brain is having thoughts of being upset, then I have the upset. It doesn't have me. If I can notice my brain is generating thoughts of being upset, I am noticing, not angry.
Yeah. And when you notice it, like you said, it makes you more the witness, enables you to choose differently if you choose.
Exactly.
Right?
It puts you in a place of choice.
Yeah.
And it's a responsibility, not a reaction.
Yeah.
If something happens and we react, the moment we can catch ourselves in the reaction, we are being responsible.
Yeah. Yeah.
In being responsible, we are putting ourselves in a place of choice. Reaction is, we have no say in reaction.
Yeah.
We have all the say in choice.
Yeah.
And if we're being responsible, who we're being is at choice in our response.
Yeah.
Instead of a reaction. And all of this it's weird, but it's so simple, but not easy. Because we're not wired this way, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
But I know you didn't grow up with everything you have now. You may have had pieces of it. There may have been sensitivities, right?
Oh, well,
we had what we had.
Yeah, part of me is very mental. I've had people throughout my life say, Mark, that's just kind of your part of your, not the whole story, but very mental. I taught universities and thinking, right? All that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about. But, now I think over the years, I've, been expanding and building out other of my abilities beyond,
Yes,
and realize,
the cognition happens here.
Yeah.
But who we're being about it determines what we're going to do with it.
Yeah.
We've both grown and expanded what we've been given.
Yeah.
Because of a commitment, a dedication to learning. But the learning doesn't just happen here. It happens in our awareness, in the awareness that becomes available in the little K knowing comes the big K knowing.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
You learn to ride a bike. We could talk about balance all day. Yeah. But what is balance? We could talk about talking about balance all day, but until you've been on a bicycle and ridden it and turned and slowed down and stopped and done and no balance, all we can do is talk about talking about it. But beingness is that way.
Well, I think of, 2011, 2013, I was living and working in Asia and Taiwan. And I remember the first 5 months, I was completely overwhelmed because I thought the world should work a certain way. And
not there.
All my assumptions
way.
Really aren't applicable. And I distinctly remember the moment when I finally said, you know what? I was just getting upset and crying and all that stuff. And I finally said, it's the moment I surrendered to what was, and just said, it is what it is. And I'm just going to enjoy my time over here. That was a big change for me, a breakthrough.
When you get to it is what it is, I mean, we normally say, oh, it is what it is. And that's really resignation. It's really saying, oh, life is horrible. It's never going to get any better. Yeah. But when you really get to the real, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I accept that. Then you're at a place of neutral.
Yep.
Free of the attachments, free of the preferences. And you can still have the preferences as long as you don't let them have you.
Right. Yeah.
But that's so brilliant that you said that, because in that moment of surrender, okay, people think of surrender as, okay, I'm just going to let the world trample all over me. No, surrender is just releasing your attachments to it. Okay. Like this is like forgiveness is release. Yeah. Unconditional love is release of the conditions.
Yeah.
Okay. This is release. Watch. You ready? This is release.
Okay.
Well, that's release. Okay. Now just to make sure your viewers saw that, this is release.
Yeah, fast. Yeah. So, okay.
Okay. So
right.
I didn't have to check in with my thumb to say, is this okay? Or what are people going to say? Or it didn't work the last time? Or what if I need to pick it up again? All of this stuff is the conditions that prevent release.
Yeah.
To release, we just release.
Yeah.
But our brains will continue to generate all the reasons why we can't release. And if we have even one that remains, we can try and release all day.
Oh, yeah.
We can't just release.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
to release our preferences, our desires, our expectations, all of the stuff that we carry about the way we wish it was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
None of that has anything to do with being.
Yeah.
But getting things narrowed down to being is about noticing.
Yeah.
So you're asking for simple, practical tips.
Yeah.
Love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And notice that's simple, not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the thoughts your brain is generating. Simple, not easy. Release the preferences and expectations you may have. Simple, not easy. All of this stuff is simple, not easy.
Yeah.
Because we're not wired up that way.
Yeah.
But to rewire, like I'm 60, okay? To be able to, how do I change 60 years of being? That feels really daunting, but it starts now.
Yeah.
And the now that just happened a minute ago happened in a now moment then, and everything I may be concerned about in the future will happen in a now moment then. All we really have is right now. So if we can start now with this noticing the thoughts my brain is generating, noticing there's a preference and what the preference might be and why is that a preference and what's that, what in me has me be that way about that. That's where the self-exploration comes that allows us to have everything occurring in our life being our spiritual guide.
Yeah.
The word spirituality is not something out there separate from us. It's what we are. To say spiritual guidance is just guidance.
Yeah.
Spirituality is not some mystical out there thing.
Yeah.
It's what occurs moment by moment by moment in who we're being and what is the me that's being.
Yes, absolutely.
It's my spirit, which is sourcing, animating this physical body, operating in this physical plane that I am out projecting moment by moment by moment, co-creating with Creator from my divinity, coupled with that divinity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, here's the last piece. It's really, again, really simple, but really hard to remember. We're all part of a singular creation of a singular creator.
Yeah.
We're all one thing. You're a drop of the same ocean of which I am a drop. Yeah. And there's really no separation between you and me.
Yeah.
Therefore, I can connect with you. You can connect with me in the connection that already exists. It's not like we have to connect. Yeah. We're already connected. It's about being in the awareness of the connection that already exists. Well, how do you get there? It all starts by being the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating.
Yeah. It's so interesting because throughout our conversation today, you've alluded to the importance of being in that stillness. Sometimes you encourage people, different way of accessing that state. And you said quickly, for some people, maybe meditation. I'm thinking of Dr. Karen Can from Topocan Healing. She has a technique called STOIM, STOIM, and I'm forgetting what it stands for, but basically it's a way she encourages all of her practitioners to access that space of stillness before they start their sessions. And for the clients, just to be connected, like you said, the now, the present, disconnect from the mind chat or anything. So, there are different ways, and it's a very 10-second technique to get you in that stillness.
Yeah, and just to be the noticer. Everyone's like, Brian, I can't meditate. I can't get my brain to slow down. And I'm telling them, you don't have to get your brain to slow down. Let your brain do whatever it wants to do. Yeah. When you're being the noticer of it, you're in the place that you're seeking to be in when you meditate.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Just be the noticer. Everything comes from being the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating and noticing that you can notice. Now, I'll leave you with one last little tidbit here.
Okay. And then,
So the undergraduate degree is to be the noticer of the thoughts your brain is generating.
Yeah.
When you get that down, that's like the bachelor's degree.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The graduate degree is when I can notice, when I can step back and notice, be the noticer of the noticer noticing the noise.
Yeah.
When I'm in the place of noticing the noticer, then I'm coming from a place of context,
Yeah.
noticing the content.
Yeah.
When I'm in the place of context, noticing the content, I'm in the actual place of co-creating.
There you go. Yeah. Cool.
It's levels, and there are levels of levels of levels.
Yeah. Yeah. Which takes me to, we touched on this a little bit before our call today. I know you have some exciting developments. I know recently you've been leading
Thank you.
a type of workshop, and also you have an announcement about some of your classes or something.
Yes, thank you. So my level one, I call it level one healers class. I've expanded my curriculum to 3 levels now.
Yeah.
The first level is learning the basics of the healing modality.
Yeah.
There's 4 parts of that. The first part is, how does this healing thing work? What's really going on energetically and spiritually? The second part is generating the sacred space in which all the healing happens, and how to generate that space.
Yeah.
Where love happens, where connection happens, where poetry and music come in. It's about generating that namaste place.
Yeah.
The third part, namaste, by the way, the divine light in me is able to see the divine light in you. If I'm not in a place of being in the awareness of my own divine light, I can't see the divine light in you.
Right.
By the same token, if I generate that space, you fall in, whether you're ready to be in that space or not. I can walk into the grocery store and look someone in the eye and connect with them, because who I'm being is namaste for them to connect with me. It's not about them. It's about who I'm being with them.
Right.
And the third part of the class is working with the chakras, chakra clearing and harmonizing. And the fourth part is body work. Okay. Yeah. And the whole context of the class is being the healer and taking the steps of the formula that I will show everyone.
Yeah.
And making it yours, because how you experience what's occurring along the way is how you make it your modality, because it's the healed by spirit modality, not the healed by Brian modality.
Right.
You've got your version that we could call the healed by spirit modality, not the healed by Mark modality, right? Yeah. I mean, it's all about being in that space. So I decided about a month ago, and we're just like, within 24 hours of releasing this.
Oh, okay.
There's the first 3-hour segment of my 4-segment healers class, the level 1 class. I'm about to put out into the world for free.
Wow. That's
like for free.
Yeah.
Because then people can get all of this information about how does all this work, what's coming to be. And it's all about everything we've just spoken about.
There you go.
It's all about accessing this beingness that allows people to be the healer, but not just to be the healer, because that's the context of the class. The real context is being.
Yeah.
Being you, being most you, being the you that you're here to be in the way that's uniquely yours.
Yeah.
That's what the level 1 healers class is really all about, is how do I be most me, free of all of the crud that I've accumulated over my life in who I was being about everything that's happened up to now.
Yeah.
To be a healer requires that you heal. It doesn't mean that, that you heal and then you can, because there's a million different parts of your life that need to be worked on, right? And that never ends.
Yeah.
Right. Never, right? So that's what I'm releasing right now. And I'll say 48 hours. It may be a couple of days, but we're literally, I'm looking at the final edits when we're done with this call.
Oh, great.
I'm saying yay or nay or a couple of little refinements, but I'm going to release that whole first segment for free to the world to let them know this is how I be in life. Yeah. And do I want to apply that to learn how to be a healer? Come and see me.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that's really cool is I'm about to be traveling, and I'm really excited about the travel. I've got a couple of different trips to Houston in the works in March and September. I have not set dates yet for Chicago, but it's coming up probably in April. So I'll look you up when I come there.
Definitely.
I'm going to be stopping through Memphis, Tennessee on my way to Chicago for a big project I'm working on up there. I'll probably bring my healers class weekend intensive version, which is not for beginners. It's really for people who are already doing healing and energy work to teach people how to refine what they're up to bring my modality to whatever they're doing.
Absolutely.
Which will make everybody's healing and energy work a lot more effective. I mean,
right.
Some healers can say I'm 95% effective on everything that's been thrown at me. You know, I'm batting 1,000 on prostate cancer. I'm about 98% on rheumatoid arthritis. I work with people on herniated discs, backs, necks, digestive issues. One lady's free of her macular degeneration. Then they'll just give you an idea of what my modality is about.
Sure.
If you want to learn that as part of what you're already up to, be on the lookout for the trip to Chicago.
Okay. Cool.
That's all exciting. And I've actually got my next level 1 healers class starting in another week and a half. It was going to start a week ago. And then I realized, wait a minute, if I've got this video coming out, let's start with the second session and not the first.
There you go.
So be looking for that. There's a Healed by Spirit YouTube channel. There's a Healed by Spirit Facebook page. You can go to healedbyspirit.com. I don't know that the video will be on the website very soon, but it'll be on the YouTube channel and all of that, and Facebook page pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about those.
That's fabulous. I know a lot of people are going to get a lot of benefits from you're sharing your work to kind of, like you said, empower them to take more charge of their life. So
that's it. And to give people access, it's not me empowering them. It's them accessing the power that they already have. What you and I do when we say empowering people, just to make sure that people know, it's not happening because I'm being who I'm being so much as this is the life we're sharing. Who are you being?
Yeah. And also, I guess I meant to say having some tools, at least that empower them to empower themselves. Yeah.
That's it.
Which I always think is important to share. I always tell people, you know, I want you to, I know you do as much as you can for yourself. We all want to do as much to help. And hey, we all get stuck, me included. I'll call another healer to ask for some support, and that's what we need. So it's always about, you know, getting what we needed in the now.
Exactly. And it never ends. That's the other thing is people get stuck on, gee, I've still got that thing I'm still working on that I'm not done with. Notice that you had to get to this place with everything you've been through to get to this place, to notice that there's this thing out there that you still need to get to.
Yeah.
And in the noticing of that's what's next, you can see, if you can rise above the situation a little bit, you can see I have to get through this and through this and through that to get to that next thing.
Yeah, great.
Never give up. It's okay. Don't get, I mean, you can get frustrated. Notice you're getting frustrated. Notice that, right?
Yeah.
But it's okay that the journey is not over, because the journey is never really over.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely make sure to send me, and I'll make sure I post it to this episode, you know, website, the best way to, you know, you said website, Facebook, any of your contact information.
You bet.
And and so any final thoughts you'd like to leave the viewers of today's episode?
The biggest thing I can make sure that I try and really make sure everyone hears is you're fine right where you are. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are, whatever you have going on, got you to here. And if you're not happy about it, or if you're disappointed, or you're beating yourself up, love yourself enough to notice that you can notice what you're noticing and operate from there. Notice that which is noticing is who you actually are. And if you're not thrilled with your circumstances, know that that'll change. Yeah. But if you want it to change who you're being.
Yeah.
The law of attraction is not based in grabbing and taking, and it's about who you're being, resulting in that which occurs in your life. You're not attracting something to you. It's about walking through your own life in the way that's most you.
Yeah.
That will continue to have occur in your life that which you seek.
Yeah.
What you're seeking is looking for you.
There you go. Absolutely.
But you got to be seeking. You got to be in the place of seeking and growing and learning and self-loving and
to growing. No,
That's
openness.
it. And
Yeah.
love yourself like you would love someone else. Be
Yeah.
unconditionally loving toward yourself like you'd love someone else.
Yep.
Be forgiving towards someone else. Be forgiving toward yourself as you
Oh.
would be towards someone else. We forget to treat ourselves the way we'd like to be treating everyone else, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brian, thank you for being my guest on the People and Pet Show today. And we'll
Thank
be
you.
posting this on the Facebook page and the YouTube channel. And please, like I said, remember to like, love, and share this episode if you receive some value. And yeah, we'll be posting Brian's links and be on the lookout for all his cool stuff coming up.
Mark,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we go live every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, the People and Pet Show. We interview leading edge guests in the holistic world for people, animals, or spaces. Next week, which will be February, whatever, we're in February, this Saturday's February 1st. So whatever it is, the next episode, I'll be a special edition of the People and Pet Show. I'll be doing live mini healings for people and animals. So bring your one burning issue. I'll be doing mini healings with people or animals for about 10 minutes each. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
And remember, that's remote too. That's available
That's
remotely or in person.
Yes. Exactly, remote. So yeah, again, thank you everyone for being on today's show, be it live or on replay. And again, if there's anything I can help you with, you can check out my stuff at my website at www.peopleandpetsenergetics.com or my Facebook business page for People and Pets Energetics. Or if you're old school, like to pick up the phone, give me a call at 210-775-2696. Again, thank you, Brian. Thank you, everyone that's seeing the show. And we'll be in touch real soon. All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Bye,
Take
everyone.
care. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.